Hello everybody and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today is part 3 of an experiment. Did not even mean for it to be a multi-part series, but here we are. In part 1 we played around with grinding our own ink and painting on Arch's watercolor paper with the Chinese brush. Part 2, we blocked in watercolor on top of the dried Chinese ink, Western watercolor. Part 3 will be kind of detailing and seeing what we can do with this. Feel free to follow along. Feel free to leave comments down below. And let me know what you think, what you would have done differently, if there's any questions that you had, etc. So this is the number 1 rigger, and I'm just using a mixture of burnt umber and ultramarine for dark, kind of just one of my go-to darks. We might use the hake brush for texture, but we'll kind of play around with it and explore. That's the whole point of these videos, is to experiment, to get ideas, and to learn. I'm going to take the side of this number 4, start filling in and finding these darks. Payne's gray in there, a little bit of ultramarine, get a bit more bluer side of things. Almost kind of like putting the shadow in as like a negative painting to kind of pull out those leaves in front of it. Structure right there. Try to make a strong dark Payne's gray into this mix to kind of bring the top of that rock line in front a little bit stronger. We can do our lemon yellow into this. Passing over those trunks that I put in to get a little bit more depth there. Let's move to the other side. Burnt umber, ultramarine. We have that dark back here. But then in front we have that rock in the photo. I'm going to try to make that even darker. So a little bit Payne's gray. So just like kind of like I did on the other side, where it comes up. Passes in front. And then Catching the tooth of the paper. To create these textures. Let's go back up into the background now. I was just thinking, if you're wanting to follow along, you might be thinking, I don't have Chinese ink, I don't have Chinese ink sticks. You can use India ink. You can use, probably use a black acrylic and then play around on top of that with watercolor. I've never tried that. That might be something to explore. Matthew Clemens will use black acrylic ink in his watercolor paintings as opposed to black wash or black. The reason I mention acrylic ink is, it being waterproof, that you don't really have to disturb the underpainting that much. It lets you play around a little more. Some fountain pen inks are pretty waterproof. The Noodler's ink is okay. The Platinum Carbon ink is pretty good. And there are some other ones, but I'm not familiar. I don't have them. I never tried them. Ultramarine blue. Here, bring a little bit of blue here, a little bit of that blue here. There's a little bit of burnt umber in there. That darker cascade. Let me stand up for a moment and take a look. Okay, so we added a lot of color all over. Kind of looks very impressionistic. Let's grab the hake. Payne's gray. Oh, that's I don't want that to crisscross like that. I don't know if that was a cat just now. So just using calligraphy strokes to build up the tree side here. And then we'll come back over it. Let me grab some raw sienna. Yellow ochre. That'll give me the layering that I want. Okay, let me pause that. I'm thinking we'll come in with Payne's Gray after I did a pause and a dry off. We'll play around here. I just feel like I need to put a mat over it to see where it's at. I think I might come back again in the future and play around with it some more, but I think I'll call it here for this one. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it somewhat interesting. Kind of using the Chinese paint as a base, as an underpainting, and then exploring watercolor over it. I'll be back soon with more videos and experiments, so stay tuned, and y'all take care. Bye.